Do you like ramen? I like ramen, and you know what's in this box? It's a box full of ramen, direct from Tokyo. This video, I wanted to introduce you to the Japan Ramen Box monthly subscription service. Japan Ramen Box was kind enough to send this to me to review for you guys on video. It's a monthly service for 20 bucks. You can get 4 instant ramens from Tokyo shipped direct to your door. 50 bucks a month, you can get 12 ramens, and you know it's from Tokyo because this box is actually shipped from Tokyo. You can see it right there. Contents, instant noodles. Look at that. And the box says it's easy, fun, and delicious. Well, is it delicious? We're going to find out. We'll open it up and eat the ramen, and we're going to let you know. And Topher, he's going to help out in the rating. Topher, are you ready to see what's inside this box?
I'm ready.
The box is well sealed to make sure no noodles get out, no creepy crawlers get in. This is a job for the knife. Open it up. On the top of the box, there's a note to thank you for your subscription today. Dear ramen lover, we appreciate your subscription to the Ramen Box. And to see the description of all the ramen for this month, they've got a PDF that you can hit right there. It's packed in with some Japanese newspaper. That's good packing supplies. I might read this later. It's got some pictures of girls in kimonos on it. Look at that. And then here we go. First one here, number 1, tonkotsu ramen. Number 2, miso ramen. Number 3, shoyu ramen. Number 4, chicken ramen. And then there's some ramen cups, like instant noodle cups. Number 5, chashu soba. Number 6, Ippudo's tonkotsu ramen. Ippudo is one of my favorite ramen chains in Japan. And number 7, black garlic ramen. One of my favorite types of ramen, sure to be tasty. And that's it. There's 7 ramen in the box. Plenty to eat. All right, well, I'm gonna meet you in the kitchen where I'll show you how you make some of these ramens, and then we're gonna eat it. Are you ready, Topher, for cooking and eating?
Of course, I'm ready.
Welcome to the Yellow Productions kitchen, and in case you're wondering, yes, I always look like this when I'm cooking with my tactical apron and of course my chef's hat. It makes me feel even more festive. The food comes out better wearing the chef's hat. Starting with the yellow ramen. I wonder why yellow, but this is the classic shio ramen, and I've started boiling some water according to the instructions. By the way, the instructions, they're all in Japanese. There's no other instructions, and it says 500 milliliters of water, boil for 3 minutes, then combine the stuff, put it in a bowl, and then eat. So I've kind of picked that out from the numbers that I see there. But if there's something to the Japan Ramen Box crew, it would be great to have some English translations of these. So let's go ahead and we'll open this one up. And you can see we've got some noodles in there. So we're gonna take, there's noodles, and then there's some packets of stuff. That's the seasoning we're gonna put in later. So we'll go ahead and take these noodles, and then we're gonna put them in this boiling hot water for 3 minutes. So I'll check back in with you in 3 minutes. All right, 3 minutes is up. The noodles are done. I'm just gonna take it off the heat so they don't cook forever. And in case you're wondering if everything in my kitchen is yellow, including the oven mitts, I have a lot of yellow things. So there were these 2 little packets that were in the container. So we're gonna go ahead and open these up and put them in here. You can come in a little closer. See, as we put these spices in here. Some spices to make the soup. That's 1 packet. And then let's go ahead and open up the other packet. This one's like a liquid in here. So I want to make sure it doesn't run everywhere. As we get a liquid that goes in there. We mix it up. And you can see we have a nice soup base for our noodles. Why don't you join me in the dining room and we'll eat this. All right, welcome to the dining room. I've taken off the chef's hat because it's just silly to eat with a chef's hat on, right? So here I've got my ramen, my spoon, and if you're wondering why I have this huge spoon, it's because like ramen restaurants in Japan often give you big wooden spoons. I don't have a big wooden spoon, so I'm gonna use a big plastic one to try the broth. It's It's a pretty good broth, hot because it just came off the stove. Good flavor to it. And being a shio ramen, what the description of it says, the English translation is it says, true to its original taste, this salty and satisfying Japanese instant ramen easily transports you back to the beginning of true ramen creation in Japan. Salty and satisfying, I think, is a good description. And, you know, they say that in Japan, if you want to give compliments to the chef, you're supposed to slurp the noodles. So, compliments to me and the chef who created this instant ramen. The noodles, pretty good. They're hot though. All right, now that the yellow one's done, I'm gonna let you know, I'm not gonna eat all 7 on video because you'll be bored. So there's 3 others that are kind of the same as that yellow one that are you cook first and then you add the things. But then there's 3 of them, these 2, and then this one that have their own bowls, and so you put the water in these bowls. So I'm gonna go ahead and try out these 2 next. We'll start with this one right here. I've got to open this up. It's got a big plastic wrapper on the outside. And the instructions on this one, they're a little harder to deduce because they're just this little text block here. They don't have pictures like the other one does. But I'll show you what the instructions are. This was why it would be really useful to have some English instructions. So we open this up, and we're not going to peel the whole thing off because we're just supposed to peel it halfway. And then you'll see inside there's a few different things inside of here. There's this little guy. There's this one which has some liquid in it, and then there's this one which is dry. And so the instructions say to open up the dry ones and put them in there. So we're going to do that. We'll open up this dry one here, and we'll put the dry one in there. These are like a lot of the seasonings. And I'll tell you, I kind of like the look of this one a little bit better than that last one already, because this one has like more green onions and more sauces. And you can see there's all those dehydrated green onions in there. So we'll set that aside. And then there's this one. We'll open up this one and put it in there. This is the pork. They don't give you a lot of pork. Let's see how thick this is. Oh, it's pretty thin. It looks like a Pringles chip. They don't want you to be too full on this pork. You can almost see through it. So if you want more pork, you know, the instructions say add more pork and it'll be more tasty. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put it there. I'm gonna grab some hot water and we'll fill it up. I'm back with hot water, the magic of television. YouTube, not television. So we take this hot water, we pour it in here. There's a little line in the bowl that we pour it up to. So we're gonna let that fill up to the line right there. Now it's at the line, and then we close the lid, and then I'm gonna move this so I don't burn myself. And then we put this sauce on top to kind of keep it closed, and then we let that sit for 5 minutes. And then we're gonna come back, put the sauce in, and enjoy. So this ramen is the Toyama Black Ramen, and when it's done, it's supposed to be black. Are you curious what it looks like when it's done? Well, we have to wait 5 minutes, so you're gonna have to just be patient. But while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and cook this one. This one is the Ippudo ramen. Ippudo Akamaru Tonkotsu pork-based ramen, only found in select 7-Elevens in Japan. And you can actually see on the top, it has the 7-Eleven logo. 7-Eleven in Japan, way better than 7-Eleven in the US. This one, pretty similar instructions. We're gonna go ahead and open this guy up right here, take a look at what we find inside, and try not to rip this as we do it. What have we got in here? We've got this one, it's liquidy. We've got this one, it's also liquidy. We've got this one, it's not liquidy. We've got this one, it's not liquidy. And we've got the pork, a little bit thicker piece of pork than the other one. So we're gonna open up the drier ones, put them in there, and then we're gonna save the liquids for later. We'll start with the pork this time. Ooh, this pork package is actually harder to open than the last one. Do I need some special, ooh, just this way. All right, that's like 3 times the pork as before. It actually has some thickness to it. We'll put that in there. Let's open up this dry one. All right, it's got all the green onions and things like that and seasonings. It's interesting, the other one had 3 packages and this one has 5. And then this one is like a powder in here. Let me shake it a bit so I don't get powder everywhere when I open it. All right, open that up. Drop the powder in. Ooh, look at all that. I'm sure that's all the salty goodness. Pretty good for my blood pressure. I mean, you probably don't want to eat these like every day. Maybe you don't want to eat 3 of them in one sitting, but I will because I love you guys that much. All right, that's everything we put in it to start. Now, let me go get some hot water and we'll start this one cooking too. Boom, look, the hot water, it's magic, it's instant. All right, let's pour this in and we're gonna pour it up to the line again. And this one only takes 3 minutes to cook while the other one takes 5 minutes. All right, that's right up to the line. We'll go ahead and close that up and we're gonna put the liquid ones right on top to keep it warm. All right, I'll see you in a second when this one's done. 5 minutes has passed, we're ready to unveil the black ramen. This is nice and hot because it's been sitting on top of this hot thing. Well, it's not black yet, why not? Well, the black is obviously in this container right here. So I'm gonna open this up and then turn it over and pour this in. Oh, there's the black, look at that. This is what's gonna give the soup base its flavor. And let's get some, we can now take this lid off, frankly, because we don't need the lid any longer. Okay, let's stir that up. It's got a nice dark color right there. Ooh. This pork has turned into something. Now it's a soggy Pringles chip. And we've got a black ramen. Curious what that tastes like? Let me get that really big spoon again. It's gonna be hot, so. Wow. A little bit spicy, a little bit of a kick to it. It's got kind of a soy sauce flavor to it. And let's try some of the noodles here. I like this one. I like this one better than just the salt ramen. I've always liked soy sauce shoyu ramens better than salt ramen because it has a little more flavor, and this more flavorful soup base gives the noodles a bit more flavor too. But I'm curious what it's like compared to this one. This one's been going for just about 3 minutes now, so let's check out the Ippudo, shall we? I said Ippudo, and Topher came running over to see what it looks like too. He loves Ippudo, his favorite ramen in Japan. And he was like, Chris, why are you doing this video without me? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you doing over on the other side of the room? So now that we're all together again, we're all here for this family dinner. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what this looks like inside. And we'll take this lid off again because it's done cooking. It's hot. I can already tell the noodles in here are thinner noodles already, which is interesting for an instant noodle. Those other two were definitely instant noodles. I'm not sure why that one has 2 sides to the packet. Well, let's start with this one. These are both liquidy, so I'm going to try to be careful here and not spill this liquid everywhere. Turn it over. Oh, this is, yes, this is more of like a milky soup base. This is thick. It's the tonkotsu base right there. You can already see it's getting nice and grease, like the pork grease in there. You know, it's always the fat that gives the flavor to these things, and good ramen, always a little bit fatty to it. All right, and then let's open up this next one, which again has 2 halves. I'm not sure, why does this have 2 halves? Well, the reason why it has 2 halves, my translator, Topher, helped me out. This is spicy miso, and this is sesame oil. So we'll start with the spicy miso. Or should we do these both at the same time? Let's see, we'll open up that one. I've never had a sauce packet that like has 2 things in it at the same time. This is novel. So sesame oil's going in, and then we're gonna drop the spicy miso in there too. There wasn't much of the spicy miso. That was pretty small. More sesame oil than spicy miso. And here we go. Let's go ahead and get our chopsticks and stir this up. Ooh, these noodles are more kind of stuck together, but look at that. This has more of a classic ramen color, right? That other one being black, you could tell it had a lot of soy sauce in it. I'm going to separate these noodles a little bit in here. It's looking good. All right, now let's go in for some broth with the spoon. Ooh, wow. That's flavorful. It's good. This one has more of the pork taste than the other one I had. The other one is almost a little overpowered by the soy sauce, but this one has the meaty taste to the broth. But yeah, the miso and the spicy, it's not overly spicy. Like, I'm not dying right now as I might if this was like a Korean rice ramen. But let's go ahead and go in for some of these noodles. Check them out. I need to get that a little closer. I'm going to try and not splash on Topher over here because he doesn't want to have to take a bath. These noodles are a bit harder in texture than these noodles and these noodles. And so I think, you know, like the best of the best of all three of these worlds, ooh, it's hot, for me, would be the noodles that were in this one combined with the broth that's in this one. I do like the broth that's in here better. Should we try that pork? Or this dehydrated, rehydrated pork thing? Actually, it tastes pretty good. I mean, it's not like pork from a real ramen restaurant, but pretty tasty. So, Topher. I know we haven't discussed what our Topher rating of this Japan ramen box is going to be. And it's hard to give it a rating because every month it's a different box, right? You're not going to get all these things. And so I'll just say what I think kind of the pros and the cons are of the Japan ramen box. Overall, I think it's a really neat concept. And so if you love ramen and you want to get some unique ramens that you can only get in Japan, I think subscribing to the Japan ramen box would absolutely be for you. The prices of these things are going to be a little bit more because they do come shipped from Japan. If you live near like a 99 Ranch or a Mitsu or a Japanese market, you can pick up instant ramens. You can pick up some of these things, but not all of these are there, right? You'll have probably run out of the selection of 20 or 30 or so at your local Asian supermarket pretty quickly. And so this way you get to try new ones every month. So Topher was really hoping one of these would have bamboo shoots in it because often ramen has bamboo shoots. Well, he might have to wait till another month of ramen boxes arrive, whenever that might be. Oh, and just one quick addition or clarification. It turns out Japan Ramen Box actually does provide English instructions. I just didn't figure it out until I finished shooting this whole video when the Japan Ramen Box team sent me an email asking me if I got the ramen box and if I noticed the English instructions. Well, silly me, those are available in a PDF. Well, thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more things about ramen, you might enjoy watching this video up here about Ichiran. It is like this most anti-social ramen restaurant in Japan. That one's pretty fun. Or just some of my other videos on Japan you can click up here. Well, we won't say goodbye because we'll see you in one of these videos.